Okay, so this is part three of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I, you know, Meredith said hardly anything this season, this reunion. And the one time she does talk, she's like, "Look, I wanted to get my butter plated." Like she was so into this butter, right? Um, she makes a comment. They make a comment like they asked Lisa, "When's the last time you got your makeup done?" She's like, 2019. They try to make an excuse like she can't see to be able to do her makeup. Ma'am, call me a river. Anyway, Mary's like, that shows that you have some insecurity. Like she gets her makeup done every single day just to sit around the house. Gotcha. Um, I'm gonna make this quick. So Mary ends up they ask her, Mary, who do you like? She's like, I like Angie because she can handle me. She really doesn't deal with Lisa. Like their relationship is kind of done and over with. Um, a She likes Monica because she's a pretty girl. She really can't stand Whitney, and she likes Meredith. And Meredith and her have exchanged words before, but they can kind of handle each other. They can kind of deal with each other. Um, Whitney gets on her nerves. I'm gonna be honest. Whitney gets on my nerves. Lisa gets on my nerves. I actually don't like Angie. Um, so we get to this whole conversation about Mary leaves. We get to the whole conversation about Monica and this this um stuff that the social media thing. So we get to this conversation, and I'm gonna be honest, I listened to this multiple times, and I can understand Andy Smith here just getting freaking annoyed because they really don't want Monica to talk. And but I'm gonna tell you, Monica, this is not a defense of you at all. You sound bum crazy. The fact that Monica was she installed she installed the security system in her name in somebody else's house. And so she will pull up the security system and monitor Jen. Ma'am, I don't care if your purpose was to talk about how bad Jen is as a person. That sounds crazy. No one believes when I'm home, I do not want to believe that somebody is watching me. That is a violation of privacy. I mean, yes, government can do it. Hackers can do it. I get that through my camera. I have heard this story. I have dealt with this. I get it. Fine. But to know that someone that I know is someone that I trust is literally put security systems in my house and they access it whenever they want to in order to put the information online to out me, even if I am a criminal, which I'm not. And even if I am not a cool person, which I'm not, and I'm not defending Jen, Jen should be in jail. But ma'am, that's crazy. I would not trust you at all. So I don't understand these Monica defenders. And even Carlos King is like, how hypocritical it is that Heather is this. And I was just like, yeah, but she is watching Jen through the camera without me knowing. The fact that she literally was going out and sitting outside of Jen's house in order to try to capture that she's done something wrong to call the FBI. FBI don't need your help. Like, and then she snuck this in that nobody was has been talking about. She is selling this stuff. She was trying to sell some of this stuff to TMZ. Ma'am, I would not want to film with you. I would not want to work with you. And Andy said for sure, like, because Monica's saying, that she said that she was doing all this in production, when she was interviewing. It was like, we would not have hired you. I would not have hired you if you would have said that in the interview. And I actually kind of believe it. I don't believe that production knew everything. I think they may have had an inkling. I think they knew that she had to be some kind of messy because she was close to Jen. But do I believe that they knew how messy she was to the extent that she's like, I wasn't stalking her. Man, that is called stalking. You are outside trying to capture something to send to TMZ. You are going and accessing her security cameras in her home. You're doing too much, ma'am. Not even outside the house, in the house. You're doing too much. Um, Trying to say everybody kept laughing at her when she talked about the FBI trying to get her to send info. I'm like, FBI don't need help from you. FBI have access to a lot of things, nor do they even care about her driving drunk. That is the least of their concern. That is not in their purview to hire a drunk driver. I just want you to know that. You know what's in their purview? It ain't drunk driving. You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is. You know who does drunk driving? That's your local police officer or your sheriff. It is not something else. Um, anyway, um, what else? Okay, look, I'm gonna put that out there. I do not like Mean Girls. I didn't like the first one. I watched the second one. I hated that so much. So when she had the whole book, I was like, the only reason why I knew was because I just happened to recently see the new Mean Girls, and I was like, girl. So, Lisa begins to freak out a bit. Um, she thought it was funny. I actually didn't think it was funny. I thought it was childish. And I know that you're like, this seems like it's going to be a joke. I don't think it was, I missed the joke because I think it's a cruel thing. I thought it was cruel in Mean Girls. I think, so I guess I don't see the humor. And, um, and it's like, he's like, the most strange thing is that I think that you think that this was not a bad idea. And she's like, yeah, I thought that they would be happy about it. Then if you thought that, and I do agree with Lisa, the only time you can hear me say that is when Lisa's like, if you thought that this was going to be okay, then why didn't you lead with that? Why does it have to be they're going to eventually find out? You would have told them, hey, I write for the blog. Um, Moving on. Heather had to explain why she was not, why she lied about the black eye. And her reasoning, because see, I forgot that she went as deep as to blame it on production. She said that that was a joke. What Heather was doing in this whole scene was that she was trying to, number one, get sympathy from everyone, which she got. And then number two, blame everything on Jen, which she should have. Which Jen should take the blame. I don't know if she's as like it's hard for me, and this is just me. Maybe it's because I'm not a bully personality. Um, it's hard for me to be so afraid of a friend that I am willing to lie. I am willing to cost other people their jobs, that I am willing to protect. Now, I will protect a friend. I will do ride or die. I will do all that, but I will not do it out of sense of fear and of retaliation. Girl, Jen, what you gonna do? You are locked up. Like I just, and even if she wasn't locked up, I'd be like, okay, and what you gonna do? Because we've seen Jen over the seasons. She gets riled up. She does this big bad. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna do this and that. And I don't see her fight one thing. Girl, it would be if she were to threaten to fight me, I would be like, okay, let's move stuff out the way. Because even if you gonna beat me, I'm going toe to toe to you, toe to toe with you. And I'm gonna let you know that if you beat me up, we going you have to throw the first lick because it's going to be self-defense. And first, so that when I hit you, it's self-defense. And then number two, me and you, I don't want you to think that you can punk me to the point that you see that you're going to have me crying and be out of fear of retaliation. I am not going to be afraid of you saying I'm going to beat you up. Okay, cool. Move stuff out the way. Come with it. So this is the problem that I have with the problem that I have with these folks is that they continue to keep crying. I was so afraid. Afraid of what? What was she going to do to you? And what is she going to do to you now? Somebody's going to come knocking at your door. They're not going to come knocking at my door. When she gets out of jail, eventually she's going to come knocking at my door. Ma'am, come knock. I'm sure you'll be on parole. You come knocking at my door, knock, 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 come knocking, and I'm gonna pick up that phone and call 911 because I'm like, this chick is sitting out here trying to threaten me. I feel threatened. I did not ask her to come to my house. She will not leave. She's on my property. I want her be gone. And then violate your parole and send your behind right back to prison. So this is why I don't understand this whole fear. And then everybody's hugging her. Carlos says that she's the most, Carlos King says that she's the most, um, that she's the most, like she is one of the most feared, he's afraid of her the most. Um, and how she's so dangerous. I guess I'm just not getting with it. I don't get it. But I do not like the fact that she she'll be back. And the reason why she'll be back is because she cried her way, she apologized her way to be able to feel, to be able to keep her job. Now, that's what they want Monica to have done. And Monica came on here defending herself, loud and loud, loud and whatever. And she has talked her way out of if anybody was going to trust her, it and was going to film with her, it was going to be it's not going to happen. Mary would film with her, but I'm gonna tell you the problem with Mary is that Mary don't like these people, and Mary is only going to be a friend of a friend to the show. She'll come in for comedy relief for a couple scenes. She's not there enough to make Monica be able to. If Mary would come consistent, because I'm sure if she was to be consistent, I'm sure they would accept her to be consistent. And Monica would be the one that she would film with. Like if she was going to be consistent, then Monica would be at least keep a friend to the job. But because Mary won't be more than what I'll come when I come, Monica is now is out to lunch. Nobody wants to film with her. They have collectively teamed up against her. They were like, is there anything that she could have done? And they said no, but I'm gonna let you know what she could have done. She could have apologized. She could have groveled. And in my opinion, if you did all this to to get on the show, in my opinion, you should have groveled. You should have been like, my bad. She could have done it in a way that seemed that she was a lot more sympathetic and she was absolutely 10 toes down, not sympathetic about anything at all. And here we are. Um, she's trying to figure out why do they have more loyalty to Jen than they have to her. Thing is even though I don't think that Jen had as much money as they did, I think that's all a facade. I think that the reason why they're more loyal to Jen is because they think that Jen is someone who is on their level and you were the hired help. Look, I'm not trying to be mean about it, but that's what I think that that's what I gather from this. So Monica no longer has a job. There's one thing I do want to say that I forgot to say about Mary. I don't get the son. Like, I don't get having a son living in my house who may or may not be married, who is having loud sex in my house. I do like how she's trying to say like he ain't that good in bed. This is a very icky conversation. I am not going to have a conversation with anybody privately or on television about if my son or daughter is having sex well or not. I thought the whole thing was weird, but that's just my opinion. And on that note, I'm curious to see what season 5 is going to do. And you can tell that Andy kind of would want to see Monica back on. And I think that he's probably going to work hard to see how he can get Monica back on. I know I've listened to him and he said that she's on pause. That doesn't mean that she's technically fired. I think that he's going to try to figure it out because Angie is dull. So um you need some level of excitement. And be honest, this season has had, we know a known fact racist was the last season, um, or season before that. Jen, jail, uh, and then this season, Monica. So I mean, we've had some really troubled, Mary was the first season where we had some issues with the church. You had the racist, bona fide racist. I think all of them were a little racist, but the Asian family, and they were really saying some racist stuff. And then you had Jen jail, and now you have Monica. I just don't know what Lisa, Heather, Meredith, Whitney cannot carry this show. Angie as an addition is whack. So, and Mary shows up whenever. So, unless you're going to have, I mean, this was an amazing twist of an event. And I have seen people who don't even watch the show all of a sudden was like, wait, what's happening? And then clocked in. So, I don't think that Monica should be on the show. But if you kept Monica, I can understand why. But I don't like how Monica came on the show for sure. I know that Heather is not going to be fired because she is a kiss. She will kiss anybody's behind not to get fired, and we saw that live on television. Um, uh, so I'm curious to see. I mean, Mary could, if she wanted to, we could have more conversation about her son and her son's person. So there is story to tell with Monica. It's just, I mean, with Mary, it's just she doesn't really want to tell it. Meredith doesn't have much of a story, even though I do like Meredith. Whitney, I really don't care about her story. Lisa is annoying as all get out. She talks about, I mean, just to show you how annoying this is, her son decided to turn in a picture of a shirtless picture of him for his passport. which is why he couldn't go on the mission. He is in California doing some of his mission work, but he will be on, going to out of the country for his mission work because he turned in the correct picture and he has his passport. As obnoxious as that sounds, um, I'm not surprised. And then Heather, I don't know much of, I mean, Heather's story is kind of boring too. I mean, she has this book and she's writing a sequel. And I mean, Angie, her marriage is weird. Um, I don't really care about like her Greek life and, coming for Easter. Like, I mean, so I don't know what to do to make this upcoming season 5 spicy unless, I mean, to me, you have to talk about Monica again because you have to talk about the ramifications of what happened with Monica. Like it all should come out next season. Like you should, and Monica should be there to help explain in longer detail about everything that was happening with the blog, in my opinion. And I'd watch. I'm gonna watch anyway. But anyway, and on that note, I am done. Bye.